Brazil, South America's largest country, and a region of jaw-dropping diversity. Home to the Amazon and 2,000 species of birds and mammals. From the coastal port of Rio de Janeiro to the Pantanal, the largest tropical wetland in the world. As to the range of people in Brazil today, imagine, who might you meet here? Founded in 1549, Salvador de Bahia is one of the oldest cities in the New World.
And it's symbolizing the first good contact between the Portuguese and the local Indians.
The actual site of first contact is south of Salvador, where the Portuguese met a tribe known as the Tupininiquim. The chance to do a little exploration today into the city's lesser-known shops reveals secrets of their own.
This is to call love. Make love attractive.
Like the most effective local aphrodisiac.
You want to ask Neji anything? Okay, so this is Neji. She's the owner here.
Shop owners are friendly, and the range of product, as seen in the nearby São Joaquim market, is impressive. Here, locals will barter with visitors for goods, all produced in Brazil.
This is sensory overload, I tell you.
Market life is packed with the details of day-to-day existence, like getting a haircut. Salvador's historic center is the site of the first slave market established in South America. Many Afro-Brazilians today trace their ancestry to those transported across the sea to labor in sugar plantations.
Most of these ladies are related somehow to the candomblé. Salvador, we have the main houses, the main temples.
The stones used in these churches were quarried in Portugal, transported by sailboat 4,000 miles across the Atlantic.
So this is the Franciscans.
The significant ornamental building material, of course, was local: gold.
Because Brazil had gold, you're going to find a lot of this.
Other churches in Salvador's historic district reward the offerings of the faithful. The offerings are Bahia ribbons, left by locals and visitors alike.
Okay, you tie the knot 3 times, and while you're tying the knot, you make a wish, and then you tie the other one on the fence of the church.
I'm very spiritual internally. I always have been. I've always believed in positive thinking. I've always believed, and maybe because I haven't had family and children, and life hasn't been easy. I believe in these things to keep the faith.
Well off the beaten path is the AC Consciente Community Service Center. The goal is to keep children off the streets and to prepare and teach them the teamwork and discipline they will need for the next step in their lives. With this foundation of experience, the children embrace opportunities that would otherwise not be available to them. Practicing to perform with a professional circus, or training to compete on a Brazilian Olympic team, or join an innovative dance company. In a culture where a variety of dance has deep, deep roots. This martial art form, known as capoeira, emerged in the 16th century when slaves had a need to mask the skills of self-defense. Learning to fight was punishable by death, but in the form of dance, the same basic movements could be mastered. Rio de Janeiro is famous for its picturesque beaches, as well as the enormous statue called Christ the Redeemer. 93 feet tall, the figure is perched atop the peak of Corcovado Mountain, watching over the city below.
What's awesome is how they did it. How?
It was a wonderful statue. I really enjoyed the train ride up. The guys were performing for us, and it was just delightful.
I read about, the slavery and the Portuguese, but it truly is a delight that this country has handled its diversity and blending so well.
It's the atmosphere, it's the people. Here you have a ride. That's when the adventure starts, and the Amazon.
From the Amazon River to the bustling markets of Salvador. Dive into the very best this country has to offer on a sensational adventure across Brazil.
Hi, I am Gonza. I am a trip leader on OAT's Best of Brazil, Cultural Rhythms and Natural Wonders. I lived in Rio before. I was much in love with Rio. I'm very passionate about it, but I decided to move to a smaller town in the coast, and that's why I live in Paraty. To get all these coconuts, he loads up his van, and he comes here and stays until he sells all the coconuts. I majored in history in university and did my master's in international studies because I wanted to become a diplomat until I was 23, and I discovered adventure travel, and I discovered nature, and I decided to shift my career towards that. My favorite parts of the trip are both the combination of the culture in our historical cities like Rio and Salvador, and the incredible nature that we will see both in the Amazon and in Pantanal. One specific moment I adore about our trips is the visits to the Grand Circle Foundation sites. The opening for Soleil Circus in 2012 when they came to Salvador. They've been on the fight for 11 years to make this project happen, and he's very thankful for us. In this case, we have a visit to an NGO, which we call Arte Consciente, and people get to interact with the children that attend that school and also the teachers. I think it makes our trip very unique. It's in the middle of the very simple community of Salvador, and that makes it even more interesting for the people to see how the surrounding area of the NGO is. The thing I love the most about our OAT travelers is that they are always willing to take the extra mile or to leave their comfort zone into trying new flavors or new senses and go back home with something that has touched either their heart or their senses. I hope you'll join me to discover Brazil.
From your hometown, you'll set out on a journey of discovery. Our journey begins with fantastic city locations, like the famous landmarks of Rio de Janeiro and the colorful streets of Salvador de Bahia. Then cruise on our privately chartered river ship to discover the rainforests of the Amazon River watershed. Next, we explore the rich biodiversity of plant and animal life in the Pantanal, an expanse of wetlands 10 times the size of the Florida Everglades, before we conclude our journey in Rio. On this adventure, you'll delve into the history and culture of your destination. Connect with Brazil's unique combination of African and Portuguese cultures during a folklore show, featuring capoeira, a traditional art that combines graceful dance with martial arts. Learn about the legacy of Brazil's colonial era in Salvador's historic Pelourinho neighborhood. Explore the Pantanal wetlands on foot, on horseback, and by boat to discover some of their astonishing variety of wildlife.
Brazil is a mosaic of people, landscape, and little-known history. Today, it is a multi-ethnic society known for its hospitality. From Rio de Janeiro's iconic Christ the Redeemer statue to a cruise through the wide leaf forests of the Amazon. Brazil's blend of African, Portuguese, and indigenous influence, a mix of cultures that stretch from the Amazon to Salvador de Bahia, from the Pantanal to Rio de Janeiro. This paradise has attracted visitors from all over the world, and a discovery-filled small ship adventure awaits you in the cultural rhythms and natural wonders of Brazil.